touch Howard's rock and get to run down the hill knowing what's at stake and get the ball?
I just really the same as every week. This just is we just know this is the four quarters. It's some finality to it, but it's really the same every week. Because if we hadn't taken care of business against Georgia Tech, those four quarters, we hadn't taken care of business against Wake Forest, those four quarters, we hadn't taken care of business of Boston College, those four quarters, then we're not in this situation. So that's why we say every week is the biggest game of the year, and that we try to create that mindset with our players, because that's what it takes. If you don't have that focus, it's hard to get to this point. So it's really it's that level of intensity for me every week. It really is. The only difference this week is if you're able to win it, they're going to hand you a trophy. In the previous, it's kind of just playoff football. It's what we have right now. That's why every regular season game is so important in college football with the system that we have. It really is. It's critical. Just be the same intensity and excited to go play.
What's your philosophy on weightlifting during the season, closer and closer to game day? Different coaches, different thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say on
that. We work hard during the season. It's a big part of what we do. We require 2 days. We're going to get 2 good days of lifting every week, and our power hour guys lift every day, with the exception of away games. Away games they don't lift on Fridays because we leave early, but home games they lift all 5 days, and that's been a big part of our program. But it's a huge part of the maintenance of your team, maintaining, staying strong. But we get 2 days in, but a lot of those guys they go in and do a little extra on their own from time to time.
And what is power hour?
Talk about really focusing on Clemson. How much does that thought process play in on a week like this, where you're facing a team that so many of us are used to having at 7, 8, 9-0, and this is a huge game, and all of a sudden they come in at 3 and 5? Is that process more important on a week like this?
No, it's Florida State, and we don't their record has zero to do with their ability, their talent. Again, you got to look beyond that. It's easy to just say, oh, they're 3 and 5. No, they're a bad team. No, they had Miami 0 points at the half, 0. Everybody's got Miami as one of the best teams in the country. So this is a team that's they've had some tough breaks, they've had some hardship. If you just look on a scoreboard and look at a thing, it's really easy to make an assessment. We won 6 games in 2010, but wasn't nobody excited to play Clemson. Every game was, we lost 5 games by less than 6 points. We were in every game. Sometimes you have some tough games that go your way, go for you, and some that go against you, and that can dictate the course of the season. But that record has zero to do with their talent, their program, the great coaches. For us, every week we just want to be the best version of Clemson week in and week out, regardless. But you have certain games that come along that there's just always a little added juice, and Clemson Florida State's definitely one of those games, regardless of the records. Heck, we were I don't remember what we were. That we were like 5-4 my first year here at Clemson. 5-4, I think. 4 or 5, 5-4, I think. Just gotten destroyed by Wake Forest, and they come in here like number 2 or 3 in the country, and we beat them. So when you start worrying about they're a 5-4 team, they must not be very good, and we're the number 2 or 3 team or whatever. No, it doesn't work that way. You gotta show up and understand who you're playing week in and week out. And, some teams' record's bad, and they're bad. They're just bad. It is what it is, but it's not always the case. This is a good football team, like I said, that had NC State down to the wire, Louisville down to the wire, Miami down to the last play. Really, really dangerous team.
Yeah.
Going off of some of what you just said there, this rivalry is obviously proven to be very special. Recently, you played in arguably the best rivalry in college football, but when you see FSU Clemson matched up, how special is this in terms of what it means to the sport?
I mean, this game right here has really decided the division the last, I don't know how many years.
Every year
When's the last time, what's that?
every year you've been here.
Since I've been a head coach?
Yes.
There you go.
Including 08.
Including 08?
They won the division in 08.
Okay, there you go. So it's been Clemson, Florida State every year. So it's 9 years now. It's been Clemson, Florida State. One of us in the championship game. So for us, and again, when you look at the schedule and you kind of play the schedule out, and you're like, okay, you know, this is what it's going to take. I think everybody said, well, you know, Clemson's got a good team, Florida State's got a good team. It's a good chance the division may come down to the Clemson-Florida State game. Well, it has. It has. And it's really no different for us. We got to beat them to win it, and if we don't, they can deny us, regardless of what their consequences are. It's the exact same for us. Nothing has changed. So, you know, it's good to be in a situation where you control your own destiny, but I mean, you got to play well and you got to earn it. And we all know what's at stake this week, and we know the type of Florida State team that we're going to see, the type of effort. But it's just not about that. I mean, it's about, you know, how we play and the mindset that we bring to the game.
Dabo, as a player on the field and as a leader off the field, how much of an impact has Wilkins had on the seasons that Brian, Farrell, and Lawrence are having, and just kind of their progress as players?
Well, I think Christian, you know, he was kind of ahead of those guys, kind of out of the gate. I think they're all the same class. I think they all came in here together. They did. And Cleveland ended up redshirt coming off an ACL. Austin played as a freshman and a little bit. Played more latter part of the year when I think Shaq got hurt, maybe in the Orange Bowl, but got a little playing time as the year went. And then last year, Cleveland kind of comes out. Austin's hurt, misses a lot of time. And so, you know, but Christian's kind of been the mainstay, you know, right? So literally from day one, he has been a leader on this team. As a true freshman, the day he got here, maybe that's just a sign of his background, his maturity. He's one of, I think, 10 kids. He's been in a boarding school since the 9th grade. So he lived away from home at a boarding school. Just a different type of maturity to him when he got here. Just a different worldly knowledge, if you will, than your typical freshman coming in here. And just very focused on what he wanted to do, and his work ethic was off the charts. Incredibly athletic, but made an impact day one on the field and off the field. And I think that the biggest thing is he's just provided great leadership, and he's provided a model as far as how you work. You know, because everybody sees Christian work. You know, he's got this big personality and all that stuff, but man, he's a worker. Christian is a grinder. He's one of those guys that's over here all the time when nobody's watching, working on his technique. You know, he's whatever little thing. I mean, he was a fat, pudgy kid when he got here, kind of soft around the edges, and now he's, you know, svelte. You know, got a couple of abs. You know, 300-pounder. He's just. And that's just him, you know. He's so committed to creating every edge for himself, and he's a very knowledgeable player. But I think he's just served as a good example to his teammates. He brings great energy to that front. But let me tell you, Clee and Austin and Big Dex, man, those are three grown men right there. The maturity of those three guys, they kind of stand on their own 2 feet. In fact, I think they've impacted Christian now. I think they've really helped him continue his maturation process. Just really, those 4 guys are pretty special.
Their personality